Saga était présent à la GamesCom et nous en avons profité pour rencontrer les community managers d'EA France et de BioWare qui étaient sur les lieux.
Bonjour, je me présente, je m'appelle Alexandre Moreau, je suis Community Manager pour EA France et je travaille donc sur les titres BioWare pour le territoire France, à savoir effectivement Dragon Age et surtout Mass Effect pour vous.
Hey everyone, my name's Jessica Merizan. I'm the Community and New Media Manager for BioWare Edmonton and Montreal. We're here with Alex and Chris. I've been with BioWare for a year and I worked primarily on Mass Effect 3.
Bonjour, I do not speak French and I'm not going to insult you by trying. My name is Chris Priestly. I'm the Community Specialist at BioWare. I've been with BioWare now over 12 years and I've worked on everything since the end of Baldur's Gate.
So I came in at the middle of last year. I did some consulting work for BioWare, but primarily after Mass Effect was mostly finished. I did a lot of work with at kind of the tail end of the stages, talking a lot with the writers about how they thought the community was going to react to certain things, different elements that they wanted to see that we incorporated into the game, and then a lot of fan feedback after the game and talking to people about what they thought about it and what they liked. So a lot of my work is on Twitter and Facebook and working with people like Alex to make sure that not just North America is represented, but we have all of our French fans as well who are represented.
And I've worked on Mass Effect almost right from the beginning, so much so I was working with Casey Hudson, the project director of Mass Effect, at the end of Knights of the Old Republic, the game that kind of started BioWare working in science fiction. My job, like Jessica, I talk to our fans all day. BioWare is very keen on feedback from our fans. I work greatly on the BioWare social network and our forums and message boards, but we also get to come to countries, travel around the world showing off the games. Mass Effect 1, I went to Australia, I went to Poland. Countries and experiences.
Et ben juste pour terminer, pour préciser, pour ceux qui ne me connaîtraient pas trop, donc effectivement mon job est principalement le même que mes camarades Jessica et Chris. C'est-à-dire que j'interviens sur le forum BioWare Social Network en français, avec mon nom tout simplement, Alexandre Moreau, vous me reconnaîtrez ceux qui me suivent. J'interviens aussi sur le Facebook BioWare FR, et puis vous pouvez aussi retrouver quelques news sur le Facebook Electronic Arts France. Et pour la Gamescom aussi, le blog ia.com/Gamescom pour avoir les dernières infos sur Mass Effect.
Well, I think BioWare, we're really grateful to our fans for how well you've received Mass Effect. I mean, anytime any company comes up with an idea for a new game, you come up with the idea, there's a lot of discussion from Casey Hudson, his lead team, with Mac Walters, Derek Watts, making sure I give the right teams the right names. Preston Watomniak, all the teams, they come up with ideas, they put forth, there's a lot of iteration. Ray and Greg, the founders of BioWare, contribute a lot to the initial vision, and then we make the first game and we kind of stand back and we hope that fans are going to take to it, and we've been very fortunate that Mass Effect has been so well received by our fans.
One thing that happened with Mass Effect 3 is that there was a community thread in the BioWare social network about the hamster and would the Space Hamster come back. And so I started talking to different people and I was like, is the Space Hamster coming back? Are we going to? And so two different teams that I talked to simultaneously developed a different thing where the hamster came back, and we ended up choosing the one where you see him down at the bottom of the ship and you can get him back. But that's just kind of one example off the top of my head in the way that Mass Effect has been shaped and developed in a partnership with the fans. It's a collaboration. The game team ultimately will do what they think is the right vision for the game, but if we see something that the fans really want, we try to make that happen.
As Jessica mentioned, we really listen to our fans from BioWare. A great example, I think, is the extended cut for Mass Effect 3. The team came up with their vision when we finished the game, and after fan response was not as positive as we were expecting, Casey and the team realized we need to provide a little more clarity to the end of the game, and they came up with the extended cut. So definitely what fans say, whether they're responding on the French BSN, the English BSN, on our Facebook feeds, our tweets, anything like that, we're definitely listening. The fan feedback really helps shape BioWare games.
So we actually held a contest for all of our fans around the world to go and vote on Commander Shepard, because as you might know, on Mass Effect 1 and 2 there's only one version of Shepard that appears on the box, but in Mass Effect 3 we wanted it to be reversible, so you could have female Shepard or male Shepard, and we had a default female Shepard that is in the beginning of the game, but we thought that this was a great opportunity for fans to have some input and to help us decide what should the cover look like. So we did I think 2 rounds of Facebook voting, and then the team, based on those comments, and then they even read some comments within the threads and within Facebook comments about what they thought female Commander Shepard should look like, because we kind of decided what male Shepard was going to look like, but we wanted people to choose female Shepard. So yeah, it was really great, and what you see on the cover of Mass Effect 3 is a direct representation of what the fans chose.
I think something BioWare does quite well, thinking of fan feedback, we recognize there are a lot of gamers out there who enjoy playing female characters. Whether they're male or female themselves, they enjoy a female protagonist. And we wanted to make sure that female Shepard was every bit as important as male Shepard.
Pas de commentaires.
So we just talked about Leviathan, actually, and do you want me to talk a little? We can talk about Leviathan and things like that. We unfortunately can't talk about things that haven't been announced yet due to various reasons that are beyond any of our control, but Leviathan is our next DLC coming out, and it's a really fun action-packed adventure. You get to, I don't want to go into spoilers too much because I don't want to ruin the experience for people, but I will say that you see a few new levels. You get to kind of explore a few areas that weren't open before. There's a new area on the Citadel that you can go to, and there's a lot of story details for people who are interested in where the Reapers come from.
And there are other things still to come. We, as Jessica mentioned, really can't go into detail, but we're not done with DLC for either single player or multiplayer for Mass Effect 3 yet. So we know some stuff that we really want to tell you, but it's just not the right time, but there's still cool things to come.
J'ai pas grand chose à rajouter avec ça, tout est dit je pense. Je veux juste dire qu'effectivement, si vous avez aimé les DLC de Mass Effect 2, pour leur immersion, leur mise en scène, et le caractère jouissif, j'ai envie de dire, de ce jeu, vous allez adorer la suite. Je sais pas quand cette vidéo sera postée, mais en tout cas ça devrait être la sortie imminente de Léviathan, à peu près, où vous regardez cette vidéo. Donc j'espère vraiment de tout cœur que vous allez aimer ce DLC. En tout cas, c'est vraiment, ça atteint vraiment un nouveau niveau dans lequel on est très satisfait sur la qualité de ce titre. Et comme a dit de toute façon Jessica et Chris, ce n'est juste que le commencement. Voilà.
Yeah, we definitely have more planned for both single player and multiplayer. You've seen some cool multiplayer packs that have come out, and we're not finished with those, so I can't wait to share some details with that. Leviathan isn't it for single player DLC, so make sure that you're you're saving up to get future content from us. Don't leave some room on your Xbox or your PS3 or your PC. Don't use up all the memory. You're going to want to download some cool things from us. So some of those things were left there, but also, you know, if we ever did decide we wanted to use those rooms in future DLC, we needed to obviously have them there in the main game. So you never know, you might see them used, or you know, you might not see them used. It really, but the game team, we put them there in case we decided we wanted to use those.
Well, I think it's kind of mixed, as we're not really done. The Mass Effect team is still making DLCs for single player and multiplayer. We're still working on Mass Effect for the Wii U, so there's still a sizable team working on Mass Effect, but the trilogy is over. The core, game 1, 2, and 3 is over. And I wouldn't want to speak for everybody on the team because everybody is a little bit different, but I think there is, while a sense of regret that, oh, we're done, you know, it's sad, I'm not working on Shepard, and that's really a shame. There's also a great sense of accomplishment because they put years and years of work into making Mass Effect 1 through 3 as as positive and as enjoyable as they could be, and the reception's been great. So it's one of those things they can look back on and go, yeah, that's what I accomplished, and it's going to stand up through time. So I think there's a lot of relief there.
I think potentially there have been some things where the team, like for instance, maybe with the books, where we've seen some people draw artwork of what they think something might have looked like, and that, you know, for a lot of the game team who maybe haven't thought of that, that's really inspiring for us. I can't think of a situation where something was taken directly from someone's artwork and then translating into the game, and that, you know, has to do with all kind of legal issues where we would kind of be stealing their idea, even though it was based on our idea. So we do try to keep a separation between what the fans create and making sure that we're not profiting off of their creations without, you know, compensating them. But we've definitely done some cool things, like we've done some design contests in the past. We've done some great fan fiction contests where people are able to kind of help take part and shape the universe for Mass Effect and for Dragon Age. And we really can't thank our communities enough for making fan art, for writing stories, for painting things and drawing things, and for dressing up in costume. That is, you know, that's seeing your creation come to life, and it's really a humbling experience for us.
Yeah, there is one thing that I can think of. We found an artist through an art contest, a man named Patrick, who works out of Poland, and his work was so very good, we ended up hiring him, contracted employee. A lot of the art you saw leading up to the launch of Mass Effect 3 was created by Patrick. This is the kind of thing that our community can do. We know we have talented artists and writers, filmmakers, you know, cake makers, you name it. There's people out there, cosplayers. Jessica herself, along with a lot of her friends, were in a group called Crab Cat. They first appeared as cosplayers at a convention, is how I first met Jessica. Our community is amazingly creative, and while Jessica mentioned we can't just pick and choose what we want off the internet and take it because it's their work, certainly what you do does inspire us, and who knows where it's going to lead in the future.
Et moi je voulais juste en profiter pour ajouter un petit truc justement à nos chers artistes français, parce que je sais qu'il y en a, il n'y a pas que des Américains aussi. C'est un très très grand merci, parce que en tout cas vous faites des choses formidables, que ce soit des vidéos sur YouTube avec des, on va dire, des faux trailers, ou alors pareil des dessins, des cosplays, etc. On regarde tout. Moi, si je le pouvais, je posterais les créations de tout le monde. Malheureusement, c'est pas trop possible, sinon ça polluerait un petit peu le net. Mais en tout cas, j'essaye d'en mettre le plus possible. Et franchement, continuez. C'est génial ce que vous faites. Et franchement, nous, on adore et on est très touchés par ça. Et tant que vous continuez, nous, on essaiera en tout cas de vous soutenir et dans votre démarche et de vous promouvoir, parce que c'est vraiment juste awesome.
So after Mass Effect came out, we did a lot of talking. Chris and I feel like while waiting for a game to launch, we do work a lot with the development team, and we work with marketing to make sure that our community is taken care of. A lot of our really hard work comes right after development. All three of us are, putting in really long hours after the game comes out to find any issues with the game, find any bugs that might exist that people are having problems with, to report them. And so one of the issues that we found was that a lot of people who finished the game very quickly, and those are the people who are your hardcore fans, a lot of them needed more from the end than what they got. They wanted more closure. They wanted to have more resolution with a lot of their companions and their followers and their love interests, and a lot of them had a lot of plot questions and needed clarification on a lot of different things in there, and we recognized that there was a section that wanted completely different endings, but we felt that those people who wanted clarity, who wanted the closure, were a far more they were a more reasonable group, and they actually were a larger group, and there's absolutely no reason why that wasn't something completely doable for us, and we were happy to do it. In fact, because of the conclusion of the story, a lot of the people on the team, it was a good way to give them some closure and for them to be able to work on something where they got a little more clarity and they got more closure and they got resolution to the thing that they made. So it was a long couple months for the three of us here, and for all of the developers that couldn't be here today. But ultimately, we were really happy to be able to do that.
I don't like speaking for the entire Mass Effect team, because different members of the team will have different thoughts, different feelings in the way they react to everything. I think everybody is very pleased with how the game has come to a conclusion so far. As we mentioned, there's still DLCs and so forth. They're going to keep coming out that'll, keep the story going for Commander Shepard and the team. But beyond that, I don't really want to risk putting words in their mouths. I think there's still Mass Effect to be written.
So this, as far as we're stating, this is the end of Shepard's story. Now, you never know. 3 years from now, something might change in the universe. But for now, we're telling people that this is the end of Shepard's story. We still do have single-player DLC coming out that's going to expand on that, but Mass Effect 3 is the end of Shepard. I've also heard on Twitter from Mike Gamble that he told people to keep their save games. So I think that's probably as far as we can go with that. But I think another developer put it a really good way. As long as you guys are talking, as long as you guys are in the community, as long as you guys are supporting us, we want to support you back.
Ladies first.
Merci. I played I straddled a little bit between Paragon and Renegade. I was kind of in the middle. I romanced Garrus. I played a female Shepard. She was a redhead with a bun in her hair. And she was really feisty. She was really passionate. She romanced Garrus, and she flirted with Miranda, but sadly, nothing could happen with that. At the end of the game, I ended up choosing Synthesis. I think Edie's speech is just, it's so moving and it's so beautiful. But I also do have a second game where I play a male character, and he chose the Destroy ending and for various reasons. And but those are my Shepards.
And I think it's fair to say that through the development of parts 1, 2, and 3, I've played every character possible, all the classes, the romances, and everything. But my personal favorite would be an Earthborn Soul Survivor male Shepard renegade, especially with the assault rifle. My favorite choice.
Moi, mon caractère préféré, à mon avis, ça serait plutôt les biotiques. J'aime beaucoup les biotiques avec les pouvoirs, être juste avec le petit gun et puis faire totalement un shot. Je joue toujours gentil, même si on sait qu'il y a effectivement du côté evil. Il y a quelques scènes classiques comme dans Mass Effect 2 avec la journaliste, ceux qui comprendront devront bien se marrer. Et au niveau des romances, moi c'était Liara. Ouais. Liara, c'est à 200%, oui, t'es content, je sais. Et en multiplayer, je dirais, j'aime bien jouer le Krogan. Ouais. Oui, parce que c'est très bourrin et que c'est assez fun à jouer en général. Je joue pas vraiment Biotic. Biotic, c'est vraiment pour le solo, mais pour le multijoueur, je suis plus Krogan et les races aliens en fait.